I can say this, after spending 25 years on Wall Street, I learned this. Big opportunities always require preparation. During my years as Chief Equity Strategist at JPMorgan, I saw that the biggest gains always went to investors who took the right position at the right time. Now let me tell you what I'm talking about. People constantly ask me, Tom, how did you correctly predict the pandemic bottom in 2020? How did you predict the bull market early in 2024? The answer is actually very simple. The art of preparation and timing. Now I'm looking at 2026, and I can say I see the biggest opportunity window I've seen throughout my career because the Federal Reserve's monetary policy is fundamentally changing. Bitcoin is fully entering institutional adoption. Artificial intelligence infrastructure investments are exploding. Demographic transformations are accelerating. And the path for the S&P 500 to reach 7,700 is opening up. But to catch these historic opportunities, you need to act now, right now. The point I've been emphasizing recently is this: the secret to being successful in 2026 lies in making the right preparations in 2025. Today, I want to share with you 5 critical steps that I specially recommend to my clients and that I apply in my own portfolio strategy. These are not theoretical advice, but concrete actions that have passed through the filter of 25 years of experience and successfully emerged from real market tests. First thing, make strategic positioning according to Federal Reserve cycle end. The most important lesson I learned in my career is this: Federal Reserve cycles determine everything in the markets, and we are currently at the end of a historically significant cycle. Missing this opportunity would be the biggest regret of the next 10 years. The Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening policy is officially ending. Let me tell you this clearly. The end of QT is the most dramatic monetary policy change we've seen since September 2019. And when we look at historical examples, these kinds of paradigm shifts create massive liquidity waves. Let me speak with numbers. What happened when the Federal Reserve stopped QT in September 2019? The S&P 500 rose 17% in just 3 weeks. NASDAQ made an even bigger jump. The stress in repo markets was instantly resolved and liquidity abundance returned. But at that time, Bitcoin wasn't yet mainstream. There was no institutional money, no ETFs. Now the landscape is completely different. The effect of QT ending will be at least 10 times bigger than in 2019. The mathematical calculation is very simple. When QT ends, the Federal Reserve stops selling $95 billion monthly in Treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. This means direct additional liquidity flow of $95 billion to the market. That's $1.1 trillion annually. Where will this money go? Traditional safe havens are overvalued. Real estate is expensive. Bond yields are low. Risk assets minus Bitcoin. Growth stocks, small-cap companies will be the natural target of this liquidity. Let's look deeply into the federal funds rate cycle. Powell's messaging is crystal clear. Transition from restrictive policy to neutral is approaching. According to my analytical framework, we'll see 2-3 rate cuts in 2026. This dovish environment prepares perfect ground for growth assets. Follow Fed officials' speeches. Regional Fed presidents' positioning is important. Dallas and St. Louis are generally hawkish. San Francisco and Minneapolis are dovish leaning. Currently, momentum is shifting toward the dovish camp. According to dot plot analysis, the Fed's long-term neutral interest rate expectation is around 2.5%. We're currently at 4.5%. This means there's room for a 200 basis point decline. Each 100 basis point cut has an average 8 to 12% positive effect on the S&P 500. The concrete steps you need to take now. First, you need to minimize your cash allocation. When the Federal Reserve is dovish, holding cash is wealth destruction. Second, take duration risk strategically. China's 20-year Treasury bonds will outperform during interest rate declines. Third, increase your growth stock allocation because low interest rates expand growth multiples. Fourth, add small-cap company exposure. Midas Russell 2000 systematically outperforms the S&P 500 during Federal Reserve easing cycles. Second thing, make strategic allocation for Bitcoin's institutional supercycle. When I gave formal Wall Street coverage to Bitcoin in 2017, my colleagues on Wall Street approached it with skepticism. They said bubble. They said temporary trend. Now BlackRock, where Larry Fink is CEO, manages $50 billion, Fidelity $25 billion, Vanguard billions of dollars in Bitcoin. No one has fully grasped the magnitude of this transformation yet. Bitcoin is no longer a speculative asset, it's becoming an indispensable component of institutional portfolios. Let me give you concrete data. Bitcoin ETFs had over $100 billion in net inflows in 2024. This is just early institutional adoption. We're still at the beginning of the wave. The math is striking. 900 million people worldwide have more than $10,000 in retirement accounts. Only 4.4 million people have this amount in Bitcoin wallets. The adoption potential is 200 times bigger. This demographic shift cannot be missed. The 401k system in America manages $7 trillion. Pension funds in Europe manage $5 trillion. Japan $2 trillion. If just 1% of this money flows to Bitcoin, it creates $140 billion in global institutional demand. Current Bitcoin market cap is around $1.7 trillion. Even a 1% allocation means an 8% price impact. The institutional adoption trend is accelerating. The MicroStrategy strategy is going viral. Companies are converting their cash reserves to Bitcoin. Fortune 500 companies have a total of $2.5 trillion in cash reserves. Even a conservative 2% Bitcoin allocation creates $50 billion in institutional demand. The trend that started with Tesla's leadership is expanding. Following Square, MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital, more companies are adopting Bitcoin as a treasury strategy. This is not just happening in America, but becoming the official reserve strategy of countries like El Salvador and Ukraine. Analyzed in the Federal Reserve context, a dovish Federal Reserve environment is rocket fuel for Bitcoin. When QE started in 2020, Bitcoin went from $10,000 to $69,000. At that time, there was no institutional infrastructure, no ETFs, no institutional adoption. Now all of these exist. The next wave will be astronomically large. Strategic allocation framework. Allocate 5 to 10% of your portfolio to Bitcoin. This may seem conservative, but the upside potential is enormous. Use the dollar cost averaging method. Buy a consistent amount every month. Don't try to time it. Do disciplined accumulation. Decide on ETFs versus direct custody. ETFs provide easy access and traditional account integration. Direct custody provides real ownership but requires technical knowledge. Decide based on your risk tolerance. Take Bitcoin ETF exposure in tax-advantaged accounts. IRA, 401k, Roth accounts provide access to Bitcoin ETFs. Tax efficiency is critical because Bitcoin volatility is high. My 2026 price target for Bitcoin. My conservative estimate is $150,000. My optimistic estimate could be over $200,000 because supply dynamics, demand trends, macro backdrop, micros and or are pointing upward in every aspect. Third thing, optimize your stock positioning for the S&P 7,700 journey. My S&P 500 target for 2026 is 7,700. When you first hear it, it may seem aggressive, but fundamentals and historical patterns strongly support this target. From the current level of 6,800, that's 13% upside potential. These kinds of rallies are statistically normal during Federal Reserve easing cycles. Let's look deeply at historical data. During Federal Reserve easing cycles, S&P 500 average returns are between 15 to 20%. But this time, AI transformation, infrastructure spending, productivity gains, demographic changes create additional tailwinds. In addition to multiple expansion, earnings growth will also be strong. The climb up the wall of worry continues. Investor sentiment is mixed, positioning is cautious, cash levels are high. This is ideal ground for bull markets. The market climbs the wall of worry. Geopolitical tensions, valuation concerns, AI bubble fears, minus these are cyclical concerns. Structural growth is solid. Sector rotation strategy is critical. When the Federal Reserve is dovish, there's a predictable pattern: early-stage technology leadership, mid-stage small-cap participation, late-stage value rotation. We're currently at the end of the early stage, beginning of the mid-stage. Follow the evolution of the Magnificent Seven closely. AI infrastructure capital expenditures are creating real value. NVIDIA is not just a chip company, it's an enabler of AI infrastructure. Microsoft's AI integration, Google's search improvement, Meta's metaverse progress, miners all offer real earnings growth. Beyond the Magnificent Seven, AI beneficiaries are expanding. Data center REITs, cloud infrastructure companies, cybersecurity, utility companies. AI transformation is creating a trillion-dollar investment cycle. The time for small-cap companies is coming. Russell 2000's relative performance versus S&P 500 is at 10-year lows. This divergence is unsustainable. Small caps systematically outperform during Federal Reserve dovish cycles. Don't forget international diversification. When the Federal Reserve is dovish, the dollar weakens and international assets outperform. European recovery, Japan reforms, emerging markets reopening, global opportunities. Practical steps: increase stock allocation to 75 to 80%. Maintain growth bias, minus dovish Federal Reserve favors growth. Add small cap exposure, minus liquidity sensitive assets benefit. Increase international allocation to 20 to 20. Reduce defensive positions, minus utilities. Consumer staples will be prepared for volatility. The road to S&P 7,700 won't be a straight line. There will be interim corrections, geopolitical shocks, macro surprises, but the long-term trend is clear, upward. Fourth thing, portfolio risk management and rebalancing master plan. You achieved good gains in 2025, congratulations. But now comes the truly critical phase, taking optimal position for 2026 opportunities while protecting these gains. Smart rebalancing perfectly balances wealth protection and growth. Tax optimization is critically important. Use the year-end tax loss harvesting opportunity. Minimize your tax liability by realizing losing positions. Crypto losses are especially valuable because there's no wash sale rule. Use Bitcoin, Ethereum losses to offset capital gains. Try to realize winning positions in tax-advantaged accounts. Gains in IRA, 401k, Roth accounts are tax protected. Avoid long-term capital gains tax. Conduct asset allocation review. Since the technology sector performed strongly in 2025, your portfolio may be technology heavy. When rebalancing, find the balance between profit-taking and diversification. Target allocation for 2026, stocks 7 to 80%, fixed income 10 to 15, alternatives 10 to 15, cash 5 to 10%. Update your risk management framework. Measure concentration risk, minus single stock, single sector, single geography limits. Do correlation analysis, minus out-correlated. Do portfolio components move during crisis periods? Optimize liquidity management. Emergency fund of 6 months is optimal, 12 months is excessive. Direct excess cash to productive assets. Arrange credit lines, minus home equity line of credit, margin account, business loan. Liquidity access is more important than opportunity cost. Review estate planning if portfolio value increases. Tax implications, beneficiary designations, trust structures. Crypto assets require special attention. Private key. Estate planning requires expert knowledge. Review insurance coverage. If portfolio value increases, umbrella policy, professional liability, cyber insurance needs may increase. Keep your protection strategy current. Rebalancing frequency is important. Quarterly review is optimal. Too frequent is mechanistic. Too infrequent misses opportunities. Threshold-based rebalancing is also effective. Rebalance when any asset class deviates 5% plus from target allocation. Fifth thing, set up your thematic exposure for 2026 megatrends. 2026 will not only be cyclical recovery, but also acceleration of structural transformations. Artificial intelligence, infrastructure, energy transition, demographic changes, geopolitical realignment. These megatrends create generational wealth opportunities. AI infrastructure revolution is exploding. Data center capacity, semiconductor demand, power infrastructure, cloud computing, real capital expenditures. NVIDIA is the starting point, but the ecosystem is expanding. AMD, Intel, Broadcom, Taiwan Semiconductor, data center REITs, tower companies, fiber optics. Power infrastructure is a critical bottleneck. AI data centers consume massive electricity, utility upgrade requirements, renewable energy expansion, battery storage, grid modernization. Energy infrastructure investment cycle is beginning. Applications like ChatGPT are just the tip of the iceberg. Real AI transformation will create automation waves in manufacturing, healthcare, transportation, finance, every sector. This productivity revolution's magnitude could be bigger than the Industrial Revolution. Energy transition is moving to the next phase. Solar, wind have achieved cost parity. Now the focus is scale. Tesla is not an automotive company, it's an energy ecosystem. Battery technology, charging infrastructure, grid integration, traditional energy companies are undergoing transformation. Europe Green Deal, America IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, China carbon neutrality commitments, global coordination. Energy transition is creating trillion-dollar investment opportunity. Demographic disruption is unstoppable. The baby boomer retirement wave has exploded healthcare demand. Healthcare REITs, biotech innovation, medical devices, elderly care housing, aging population demographics are inevitable. Longer lifespans are accelerating healthcare innovation. Gene therapy, personalized medicine, telemedicine, AI diagnostics, healthcare spending will take an increasing share of GDP. Geopolitical realignment is directing capital flows, supply chain reshoring, friendshoring, nearshoring. Mexico, India, Vietnam are manufacturing beneficiaries. Defense spending is increasing globally. Cybersecurity, space technology, advanced materials. Thematic allocation strategy, AI infrastructure 15, energy transition 10 to 15, demographics healthcare 10 to 15%, geopolitics, defense 5 to 10%, risk management. Thematic investing is high risk, high reward. ETFs are safer than individual stock picking. Position sizing is critical premise. Thematic bets shouldn't exceed 30% of the portfolio, core holdings conservative, satellite positions aggressive. Thematic trends should be 5 mice, 10 years. Short-term volatility will be normal, but what's important for us and what we should prefer is a long-term thinking structure. AI infrastructure will continue growing until 2030. Energy transition will continue until 2040. Demographics are an irreversible trend. Conclusion: 2026 generational opportunity. With my 25 years of Wall Street experience, I can say this with certainty. 2026 is likely to be the defining investment year of the decade. Federal Reserve policy turning point, Bitcoin institutional mainstreaming, AI infrastructure explosion, demographic transition. All major trends are converging at the same point. These historic opportunities are not automatic. They require preparation, positioning, patience. Investors who take these 5 steps may see extraordinary returns in 2026. Those who don't will stay on the sidelines, missing the train. The action plan is clear. Liquidity wave position for Federal Reserve dovish cycle, Bitcoin institutional adoption, strategic allocation, S&P 7,700 stock, optimization, portfolio risk management, rebalancing, megatrends, thematic exposure. As I said in my recent CNBC, when preparation meets opportunity, it creates luck. 2026 preparation starts now. Don't miss this window. Markets will be volatile, uncertainty will continue. There will be macroeconomic shocks, geopolitical crises, sectoral corrections. But the investor who has strategy, prepares, and remains disciplined will ultimately win. Get ready for the next phase of wealth creation. 2026 is not just a year, it's an era, a paradigm shift. You don't get caught unprepared for this transformation. And yes, you've learned about the things that need to be done regarding the year 2026. To hear more ideas and thoughts, you can subscribe to the channel and like the video.